What is up there, folks? This is Brad Reedy Gaming Mole here, giving you an update for the month of June 2015. And I'm sorry I didn't give you guys an update for last month, but I was actually really busy trying to catch up on things and trying to get things done. And I'm still a bit behind, but at least I'm caught up to an extent. Anyway, just to give you guys a general update as to what's going on, the first order of business is I changed internet service providers. I didn't have much of a choice because I got a notice in the mail saying that Comcast is raising their prices, which at the point of the current price of what I was paying was like $185 a month for TV, internet, and phone. I decided, like, since they were raising their prices, it was going to go up to about $220 instead. And I didn't feel like paying that, especially considering the service that Comcast gives. So I had to switch to the only other internet service provider that there is in my area, and that's AT&T. There are a couple of others, but according to the charts, they're not available in my area. I honestly wish I had Google Fiber because apparently that's supposed to be the best internet ever. But it's apparently not in my area specifically. It's in an area up north from where I live, and I can't get it. So, Google, you guys need to really work on that and bring it down here. I would gladly pay you guys for it. Anyway, I switched to AT&T Uverse because that's all that there was, and now I'm paying about a little over 100 a month, which is not that bad considering. And so what that means for me is that my internet is slightly slower. I did a speed test the day I got it, and it's a little slower than what I was with Comcast, but it's not like a significant change in speed. But it will probably be noticeable in terms of online play, like for fighting games or whatever. Well, pretty much crappy netcode fighting games anyway. But really, it's honestly not that big of a change. I did notice that my YouTube video uploads are kind of slower than what they were, but it's still not a huge change. I think that's about it for that. The next thing I wanted to mention was for my life. It's not, well, things are not that hectic as it was. I mean, I've been rather busy. I've been rather busy between YouTube, real life, and many other things. But it's been rather under control. I haven't done. It's like the most I've had to deal with was my own medication not causing me to lose my appetite and not eat for a lot of days. And I had days where I just absolutely wouldn't eat anything, and it got to the point to where my stomach was saying I was hungry, but my mind was saying I'm not hungry. So really, I had days where I had to force myself to eat and just lay down in the bed because I had no energy and I felt like absolute crap on those days. But other than that, everything's been going rather all right. I can There's not much else to mention. Unfortunately, I won't be able to see what goes on at E3, and I won't be able to catch Evo like I ever actually made an effort to. And that's because I have a couple of things going on those very days where it actually happens. I know during E3 I'm not going to be at home. I'm actually going on a trip for that set time period, so I won't be home on that day. During Evo, that is generally that's generally my busy season for other things I have to take care of in terms of family and friend obligations. So there's no way I can actually watch those. I'll probably end up catching like random videos or whatever I want, or really just reading up about it. So there's no worries there. Uh, is there anything else I needed to mention in terms of life? It's like I'm currently trying to save up for a lot of things. You generally using the YouTube funds, so I'm trying to budget that out as well, and I'm trying to figure out like what games should I be playing in order to achieve that as well, achieve that goal. In terms of YouTube and gaming, well, I'm sorry I haven't updated the channel page. I've not paid much attention to it. I should have updated the channel page of the new games that were just uploaded, but I haven't exactly done that. First off, I want to apologize for the Final Fantasy Fables Chocobo's Dungeons. Those videos, because I noticed that a lot of them they end up going to this gray screen. You guys can hear the sound, but you won't be able to see the video gameplay. I don't know why that happened, but I guess I'm gonna have to try and fix those videos and re-upload them in order to satisfy you guys. No one that it's like to be honest, no one actually brought it to my attention. I caught it myself, so I'm going to try and fix it at some point in the near future and re-upload those videos that have that problem. What else is there? I've re-uploaded my old playthrough of Final Fantasy IV, Final Fantasy. What else was there? There was one other Final Fantasy I just re-uploaded. I can't think of what it was, but I've re-uploaded those playlists. And those will soon be available. Right now, they're currently under unlisted, so you have to have the link to actually view those videos. But the playlist is actually public, which is one other thing I actually did want to bring up as well. If you guys want to I generally list all my videos as unlisted since I have that option. So basically, if you guys want to watch the videos without waiting for the next release of a boss fight video, and you're just one of those guys that want to do like an entire sit at my desk and watch the entire playthrough binge type people, then you can go to my channel, click the playlist, and view the playlist from there, and it will just go from start. And for a lot of them, it will just go from start to finish. That way you don't have to wait on me to release one boss fight or one video at a time. You can just watch at your own leisure instead of waiting on one video. The other thing I have to apologize for is the Kingdom Hearts videos. When I converted them, I was using Handbrake to actually lower the file size down to something that was manageable. And what I didn't notice is that when I downgraded the file size, I ended up downgrading the sound quality. So for the most part, the sound quality sounds like, how to put it? It's not in very good quality. You can hear everything that's going on, but there's points where the sound will get distorted. And it's generally like certain sound effects I noticed like during the Kingdom Hearts playthrough where you'll hear the sound being distorted. Everything else actually plays out rather fine. I didn't know how to work Handbrake at the time, and unfortunately I don't have those videos I don't have the raw files of those videos to record with, to redo them with, and I really don't want to upload an entire playlist that was like 500 gigs of data again. I really don't want to do that again either. Final Fantasy X HD is coming along rather smoothly. I'm generally almost done with the game. I'm just trying to train my characters up to fight the Dark Aeons. I'm not sure if I'll do that right away though, because I've noticed that compared to the PS2 version, my grinding in that game is actually really, really slow, considering everything that I have to acquire in order to get like tons of spirit levels, and in order to get like all the stat up items, so I can max out my character stats. And I already know from experience, like you can't fight the dark Aeons without actually having either near or maxed out stats for your characters. It just doesn't work anyway unless you want to Yojimbo your way through everything, which I don't really have the gil to sit there and Zamato. Like, how many Aeons is it? Because I only killed one so far. One, two, Ifrit, Ixion, Shiva, Bahamut, Magus Sisters, Anima. I don't have enough. I don't have enough gil, and I don't really feel like grinding to try and Zamato 8 different bosses for in that regard. That honestly just doesn't feel right to me to try and do that. And I'm pretty sure like people won't like it. Not to mention that it's a generally unreliable strategy to try and do Zamato for every one of those boss fights. At least I think it's an unreliable strategy. Uh, so after I finish with Final Fantasy X HD, I'm going to move on to Final Fantasy X-2 HD. I'm trying to decide whether or not to make it like a full walkthrough type playthrough, or just to record the boss fights. I know how long the game is, and in all honesty, it's not that long. The only parts where I would actually get stuck or would actually take a while is like chapter 3, because generally that chapter is like, well, generally for that chapter the end part is actually pretty long, especially if you get confused or you end up mixing your own mind up as to what you're supposed to be doing. And I know that the secret dungeon is actually pretty long as well. I honestly wouldn't record the secret dungeon. I would just record the boss fights there, because that place is just pretty much, well, you pretty much go down 100 floors of the same layout. And for me, I would have no encounters on, so I would never encounter any monsters unless I actually really needed to, like Tonberries or that one dragon that's there, stuff like that. But really, the game, to be honest, I don't think the game is that long. The only parts I don't know is like the international stuff, like I think there was like 2 new jobs added, no, or it was just one. So I don't know what I would do there. Uh, but I think that's generally it in terms of, well, the Final Fantasy playthroughs. I've been playing a lot of Under Night In-Birth, and I honestly love that game a whole lot compared to a lot of other fighting games that are out. I might try to do some online play in the future. I haven't decided whether or not to keep playing or just switch to another game. I don't even know how well the community is online. I haven't exactly seen many people. From what I hear, there's not many people actually playing that game online. So I'll have to look to see for myself. And I wonder how bad my new internet service provider is going to be in terms of playing online now. Since I did go down a little bit in terms of upload and download speeds, and my ping like changed number as well. But we'll see about that in a minute. We'll see about that sooner or later. What else is there to talk about? Oh, I want to give you guys a big thank you for helping me reach 10,000 subs. As of I think it was like what, last month, early May, or it was late April. I can't think of the date. I meant to try and do a video for 10K for having 10K subs, but I never got around to it. And every time I did get around to it, I just said like this is no good for a 10K sub video. And I was like, I'm not. In all honesty, I'm not exactly like that creative in terms of like making some sort of thank you video or things like that. I'm generally more focused on just getting more content out there so people can watch. With that said, I'm trying to make a new avenue for you guys to know like what I'm uploading to YouTube. And so I made a specific Facebook page for that. I'll post the link to the Facebook page in the description so you guys can watch it, and I'll probably post it in the comments too so you guys won't miss it. I generally want to upload like updates as to like I may either made a new playlist that you guys can watch on Facebook or the start or like a milestone in terms of that game's playthrough so you guys will know like what's going on. And it's like so if you guys want to you can follow you can follow my Facebook page that I created for that. It's separate from my actual Facebook page, so because I on my actual Facebook page I only accept people I know in real life. So this one is for everybody on the internet. This Facebook page is for everybody on the internet to follow and know what's going on with YouTube, not everything that's going on with my life in Facebook. Because honestly, I don't post on Facebook a whole lot. I rarely post on social networking sites often. I generally just say like, oh well, here you go. This is what's happening there. I'm more of a business oriented type person in terms of social networking. And the only actual type of talking I do is on Skype. So, yeah. I don't think there's anything else to talk about. After Final Fantasy X HD, according to the straw poll that I made a while ago, the next game is supposed to be either Final Fantasy X, the PS2 version, or Final Fantasy IV, the Complete Edition, which I will be playing the PSP version because I'm just not fond of the just not fond of the DS or the PC's 3D sprites. I don't like them. I don't like the way they look. I feel that Final Fantasy IV should stay with its 8-bit sprites, or is it 16-bit sprites? I don't know. Either way, that's coming up pretty soon. And then a bunch of other Final Fantasy games will be coming up soon. The only other playthrough I did forget to mention is Final Fantasy Record Keeper, which basically it's a Android iOS game that is pretty much free to download, and all it is you run through the game and you're pretty much running through the famous battles of Final Fantasy throughout 1 through hopefully 13. They haven't exactly uploaded a lot of dungeons yet, so they're still behind in terms of that. But it's actually pretty fun to play through. Like since you get guest characters from each Final Fantasy game, I hope that they'll include characters that I like in that game, because so far there hasn't exactly been many characters I've been 100% interested in, except for they just released Locke like 2 days ago. So I've actually enjoyed having him on my team. And so hopefully they'll release more. The game's only about a couple of months old, at least for the US. I think in Japan they're a little farther ahead in terms of dungeons and whatnot. And they generally have like an announcement. They generally have like their announcement, I think, for like the summer of what's supposed to come out. What else is there? If you guys have any suggestions or anything in terms of what game I should play, then like either leave it in the comment box or send me a private message or leave it on my discussion. The discussion chat. Yeah, talking too long. Leave it on the discussion tab of my YouTube channel page. It's like, which I believe you guys are smart enough to know how to get to all of that. So it's like there's links to it anyway. So you guys know how to get to it if you really want to, if you really want to comment. Anyway, this is Brad Reedy Gaming Mole signing off. Thanks for watching. I will see you next time.